Our next session, in the next session, we will explore the SAP Business Application Studio for developing for the HANA platform. So Sushil will explain Cloud Connector, how to create destinations in a BTP Subaccount, and how to deploy all that stuff to the HANA database. Sushil is from the development team, and he develops developer tools for the HANA platform. Stage is yours.
Thank you, Marcus, for introduction. So Marcus has already given a nice introduction, so I'll just add some more words. So this session is mostly about leveraging the HANA tooling into the Business Application Studio for the on-prem database development. So in this session, I'll be showing how can you expose your internal systems and then connect your internal systems to the BTP in a secured manner, and then use the Business Application Studio to reroute your request directly to your on-prem system. So I'll directly start with the Business Application Studio, where I will create first of all, my dev space of HANA type, because I want to do the HANA development. And here I want to do the on-prem development. So I'll choose another set of extensions here for the access tools, and I'll hit the create button. It will take few seconds to start it. So there could be a little bit silence from my side because I want it to be live demo to show it to everyone. How will it look like? How will you configure everything in your system? So it's a development system, so it could be comparatively slightly slower than the production systems. So please bear with me. Maybe I can tell you what's happening in the background. So it's creating a one virtual machine, installing the VS Code open source server. Then upon that, it's building one UI. And after that, it will be installing all the extensions that you might need for the HANA database development. I see that it's already up and running. So I'll open it up. Wait. Okay, nice disclaimer. And I'll directly go to the terminal to see if I have access to the access tools. Okay, I'll make it a bit bigger. Is it better? I guess so. So I can write which access. See, I have access to the access tool. I'll write access login. And now it's asking me for my access controller endpoint. And now I will try to provide this. So this is an internal system, so it should not be reachable from the cloud. As you can see that this could not connect to my internal system, but now in order to use my internal system from the cloud, I have to expose it. And for that, SAP has SAP Cloud Connector, through which you can expose your systems to the outer world. But in this case, the request will be coming only and only from the SAP BTP Subaccount. So I'll go to my Cloud Connector, which I have installed in one of the SAP machines. Okay, so through this, I can expose my internal systems. For that, first I have to add my subaccount and select everything manually. So it needs my region. So you can select your region here. For me, it's internal canary. I can get my subaccount ID. So this is my SAP BTP global account. I'll go to my subaccount, copy the subaccount ID, give it here. My credential goes here. And if you are using multiple cloud connectors to connect to your on-premise system, in that case, you might want to provide the location ID. In my case, there is only one, so I'll keep it empty. And once I finish it, once I click the finish button, it will verify your credentials, and then set up a connection to a BTP Subaccount. So I just want to skip that for now because I have already added one. And now I can click on the Subaccount. In case you are connected to multiple Subaccounts, you can choose from here. And for me, it's this one. From here, you can see that it is connected to this host. And it is connected, and it's connected since whatever. And in case your certificates are about to expire, there's a nice button on the top right side which says certificate. You click that, and then you can revalidate your credentials, and the certificates will be renewed. Okay, now how will we expose our internal system? So first we need to know which internal systems do I need for the HANA database development. And there's a nice documentation available, which is here on this page. So I will not go through the documentation, but there is a nice command which I can use to get the list of the systems I need. Okay, first of all, I need an access controller whose address is this one. Then I need access to the access UA for authenticating and authorizing all the requests. After that, I need deployer to deploy your applications. And then I need HANA Cockpit. I think I'm missing one, which is this one, Web ID, I guess. I'll take this one. If you want, you can also see it here. Okay, now I also need to access my database, and for that, the command is access in databases. And from here, I will get the endpoint and the port. Yes. And I also, so there is a one backend service which takes your request and then sends to HANA database. So it's called HRTT. For that, I need to do the access login, and this service resides into the SAP space. So I can write it. So this is the app, and here's the URL which I can copy directly. So in total, there should be like 6 systems. So one is controller, one is access UA, then your HANA deployer, then HANA Cockpit, then HRTT service, and at the end, the direct endpoint to your database. So we have all these 6 URLs. Now we can go back to our cloud connector, and let's expose them one by one. For that, I will add one. So it's a other SAP system. Protocol is HTTPS. Here I will provide the actual port name, host name and port. I don't need to provide protocol because I have already provided that. Next, I'll keep the virtual host and ports same for now. I don't want to do the principal propagation because it is already taken care by the cloud connector. Yes, I want to do that. Here I can provide some optional description. Maybe I want to know, okay, what is it about? Let's check if this system is reachable or not from the cloud connect. I can say this is reachable, and whatever HTTP request will come to it, it will be forwarded to the end system. But now we have to allow some resources on that. So for now, it will just take the request only to this URL. So whatever will come after the slash, it will be blocked. So we can expose that by creating resources on that. So first I select the system, click plus, and I see this, and just allow paths and also path. So that's one system. Let's expose another system for the access UA. This time port is 630632. You can see the system is also reachable, means that's up and running. There are no issues. I'll also allow all the requests coming to it. Now, one more. So this time deployer. Next. But this system is also up and running. Now we'll expose the HANA cockpit. I know that it's too many configuration, but good news is you have to do it only once. Once it is there, then all of your dev spaces for all the developers can use the same configuration. I think this is also. Now the HRTT service, so that you can use the tooling, some editors for the HANA database artifacts. Great, now we also have to expose our HANA database. And for that, the configuration is slightly different. And this time we will not use the other SAP system, but the SAP HANA system. And in this case, the protocol should be TCP SSL. If you have configured your certificates, unfortunately, I could not, so I'll go with the TCP. This is my port host name and my port is this. Good that my system is up and running. All of the services, apps, everything is up and running. Now my systems are exposed. Now we have to do the similar thing into the BTP destination so that these can be reached by the Business Application Studio. So what you have to do is open your BTP, select your sub account, and if you have the correct privileges, roles and privileges, then you will see this connectivity menu under destinations, and then you have to create destinations. So hopefully this will go faster. So let's do this. So this description URL, I can copy the same because I kept the virtual host and port the same. I did not provide any location ID in my cloud connector, so I'll keep it empty. Okay, here I have to provide some additional properties, which are, this is very important. If you skip these, then your systems might not be accessible from the Business Application Studio. And in case you feel like, okay, I cannot remember all these properties, so there is a nice documentation about it. So you can simply go there and look at all these properties here. And there is also a community blog contributed by me, so you can also look at that. So if you look at, so here I have selected these three, and we also need access API endpoints. I'll go back here. Okay, so my destination looks good. Let's save it and check if it can reach my good. So I can see that now it can reach my on-prem system from the BTP at least. Very good. So let's create another destination, but this time for the access UA. So I can clone it and I have to change only few things. That's it. Connection. This is also available. I'll again clone it. And it's good. Let's expose the HANA cockpit. Here I have to add one more property. And now last for the access this HRTT. I need to verify it if this is the HRTT access. Yes. So here I can see these additional properties. Okay. Awesome. All my systems are available. Now we have to create a last destination for the HANA database. Very good. So all my systems are accessible from the BTP. Now, back to the Business Application Studio from where I wanted to access my on-prem system. Now, all I have to do is just to restart my dev space. Completely stop it and then restart it. If you don't do that, then these changes will not reflect in your dev space, and you might be wondering why my system is still not reachable from the BAS, whereas it is reachable from the BTP. Completely stop. I will restart it. Should be up any moment. Testing my patience. Great. Let's open it. Last time I was trying to log into my system and it was not reachable. Let's see now. I'll get my controller endpoint. I can see the system is reachable. That's why SSL handshake took place. But as I told you, so my certificates are like self-signed. That's why I ran into this issue. But still no problem. We can still make progress here. So now I want to start with the database development though. So the first thing I will do is I need to create a project. So I'll go to the file menu and click the new project from template. And then I select, yes, I want to create a database project. I select this template and then answer just few basic questions. Project name, this will be my database module name. I can change it if I want. And here I can see that I have this SAP HANA Platform as a option. So while I was creating the dev space, so I chose this SAP Access Advanced Tool extension. If you don't add that, you will not see this option. Yes, I want to bind it to a S3 container. I don't want to configure anything. Good. So now it's prompting me to log in. And here I can see these are the internal systems that I have exposed. And for me, the first one is of interest because this is what I configured. So if you have multiple, it will fetch all of them for you. And then you have to select the right one instead of manually. So as I told you, I have a self-signed certificate. So I want to do the skip skip the SSL validation, but it is highly discouraged. So please don't do it. So I'm performing the login. In this case, it's successful. We can see, great. So I can my list of organization. I have only one, and I'll use the prod space. Go apply. Yes, asking me if you want to create a new HTA instance or you want to select an existing one. So if I click the no, it will give me a list. I'll show you. Now it's talking to my Access platform, and here I can see the list of HTA containers that I already have. But let's create a new one. Here's the default name, and I'll say finish. So now it will start creating a HTI container, then it will create the service binding for that, and then it will bring that service binding directly into your project. Initially, you see, there is nothing. It will take some time. Good. So your project is created. We can see that. Here is your database folder. And if you look at .env file, so this is the HTML container name we created here with some credentials inside. File. Now let's do some real database development. So first of all, I want to maybe create a table. And for that, I can choose a nice UI to create it. So it automatically detected where is my project and where is the database folder. If you see here, this is my project name. It's found out, okay, this is your database folder and the SRC. By default, your artifact will be created there, but there is always option to override that if you want. To create a table. But it gave me a simple syntax. I'll just get a very simple table. Now let's see if my other extension is able to detect this project. Yes, and now I can click this small rocket icon to directly deploy it into my HTI container. Just hit this, it will start the deployment. And at the end, we say make was succeeded. So this table has been created. So let's create another artifact. Let's create a view on top of that. And here I can write my SQL statement. And now I can also leverage the auto completion. So I write I and press the control space. It automatically fetched all the tables and columns for that. So in my case, I had only one table. So I can see it fetched the ID column and here's the table name. Like that. Good. Here's my view. Let's deploy it. Good. I can see that my view has also been created in my HTI container. Now let's try to create a calculation view. I'll create a very simple one. And by the way, there are like more options. You say choose the data category like dimension and I don't know, time. There are like many options to create to get started with your calculation view. So I'll just start with the cube, star join. Wait, now it should open a nice UI for me to do the calculation modeling. Good, I can see that. So let's add some data sources to see if I have any. So I created one view and table. So those two should be at least there. I see I created this table and it's the view. Let's add this table. And to the output, I want to map all of my columns. Good. And now I will deploy it. So from deployment, I don't have to go here and deploy it. There's a small rocket icon here, which you can press and it will be deployed. Nice. I'll just close that. Okay, so sorry, I should not have closed calculation view. So let's see if I can look at my output here. So I'll do the data preview directly from here. I'll do the right click and I will select the third option, which says SQL data preview for the graphical representation. Okay, so that's the cons of having the development systems. Give it another try. Unfortunately, it's not working. Okay, sorry, you gotta believe me that it's working. Okay, that's one thing. Now we can look at these artifacts that we have created. So for that, I have multiple options. So I can open my database explorer directly from here. So I'll go here and click this icon. If I do that, it will tell me, okay, it will open this URL. I say, sure, go ahead. So now it will open the on-prem HANA Database Explorer app. And here I can see my HTI container. So let's look at the table we created. Here's the table. If I click that, here's the metadata about that. There was no data, so it should return zeros. And then same for the views. And it's here. Now, if I do not want to switch to the Database Explorer app, but I want to stay into the Business Application Studio, there's also a way for that. So there's this nice extension, which Jonathan and Thomas showed this morning. So from here, it will fetch all of your database connections. So for Cloud Foundry, I'm not logged in. That's why I'm getting this error. But for my Access Advanced connections, I see all of them here. And this is the one that we created. So I go here. I look at the tables first. There's my table. It's metadata. I'll click the open data. So it will open the SQL console, generate the select query, and execute it for you. we see that they were not, I did not persist any data, hence 0 goes into the result set. And now same for the views. I had at least one view. Let's look at the calculation view. For that, I'll go to cubes. And here I see my view as well. And there's one more thing. So if I want to look at which other artifacts are dependent on my table, so I can simply right click and say open dependency viewer. So it will load this nice UI where you can look at your artifact and see, okay, which other artifacts are dependent on that. And it's not just at the artifact level, it's also on the schema level. So if you have list of schemas, you right click on that and it will show you all the dependencies. So if we look at this, and it's my table, I can see that this is the view that I created on top of that, and here's the calculation. So this is, I guess this is all I had for the demo. Yes, that's all from my side. We still have ample time for the question and answer.
Yeah, we got enough time. So what a ride. I mean, what we have seen is how to connect from cloud to a HANA on-premise system and how to use Business Application Studio to develop and deploy stuff. Thanks a lot for that. So we have plenty of time for Q&A. Who wants to go first?
Thank you for the nice presentation. 2 questions. Since when the documentation, this perfect documentation, it seems so, yes, is available?
Okay, if my memory serves me right, I guess from 2022.
Okay.
Yes, it's been no, I think 2023. Yes, 23.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's also a nice blog where you have all these screenshots. So in case you made some mistake, you can verify with the screenshots to see, okay, if I have done it correctly or not.
Okay.
Second question.
Yeah, the second question, if a customer at the moment still use the web IDE because of some dependencies, which they also use the Data Warehouse Foundation plugin, which is not available in the BAS anymore. Is it possible to use both worlds? So the new world, as I see, you can also connect to some existing container and that you can use the strength of both worlds. So maybe for the calculation views, if you want to develop them feature complete, you have to go to the Business Application Studio. But for the Data Warehouse Foundation artifacts, you can still develop in the web IDE on the same project and so on. Is it possible?
Okay, as per my understanding, this was made it possible so that you can get a taste of what's available in the cloud. It's not that we want to support everything what's available into the on-prem and then bring it directly to the business application store so that you can simply do the on-prem development on BAS. So that was not the purpose. So it was like, if you trained your staff for, I don't know, 5 years with the HANA tooling, and then someone comes and say, hey, now we will switch to HANA Cloud, you will use everything in cloud. So there's a like steep learning curve. So just to help them to onboard them, that's why we created this feature. So it's not that we will, so at least as per my knowledge, there's no plan to support data warehouse.
Yeah, I know. So, but it's no problem to use both words, right?
No, I don't see it.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. Other questions? One down there.
Yeah, hello. Thank you very much for this session. My question is about the IDE, because this morning we see that there are many investment on Visual Studio Code. Then we see other session with Dana Studio, and now we see how to connect to Business Application Studio. So what is the recommended way to work both on-premise and in cloud?
So from the SAP side, SAP wants all the customers to move to HANA Cloud eventually. And that's why we have Business Application Studio. And all the things we have in Business Application Studios are not available in Visual Studio Code. There are some limitations, I don't know, licensing issues, maybe legal issues. So that's why SAP has everything in one place. So it's a BTP subscriptions. You simply go there and kickstart your dev space and do the development.
Okay, thanks. Other questions? Sabrina, are there questions online maybe? So then I'd say we are done. Thank you so much, Sushil, for the great session. And we make a little bit of a break right now because we saved some minutes. So I'm happy to welcome you to the next session then, which is about open source tools. Thanks again, Sushil.
Thanks, everybody.